this one, we're going to go ahead and remake from scratch Lil Tecca's 500 Pounds. Tempo for this one is 123 beats per minute, and the track is produced by Taz Taylor, Rio Leyva, and 4. We're going to start off with the main chords that loops out the entire track. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Logic's Retro Synth, and we're going to work with the default settings that load up. Duplicate that over. So the default setting that loads up in RetroSynth is pretty close to the main sound. We're just going to go ahead and open that up, and we're just going to adjust a couple of things here. For one, we're going to go ahead and pull up this envelope filter over here just to close it up a bit to make it a little darker. Then we're going to go ahead and just bring in a chorus. Now let's bring in the EQ just to cut out some of the lows. And then bring in a reverb here. Let's bring in Logic's Space Designer. Next, let's draw on the bells. We're going to use the same preset that we just drawn out here. So I'm going to duplicate that down, except for that, we're going to open up Logic's Retro Synth. And we're just going to make sure that our oscillator, we're going to slide it down to oscillator 2. We're going to turn it to a triangle oscillator, and it's going to give us more of that bell sound. Just duplicate that over. Now let's get to the drums. Okay, new software instrument track. And I'm going to go over to my library browser here. I'm going to pull in the drum kit I made for this tutorial, the 500 Pounds drum kit. And we're going to start off with something easy here. Let's start off with the clap. Let's draw on the kick. Just going to make this 32 steps. Let's draw on the hi-hat. It's going to be a 2-step. But then on the second half, it's going to go something like this. We're just going to add in a note repeat here, and another one right here. So at the end, let's zoom in on that. Let's draw on our crash. Except we only need it on the 1. So let's go ahead and take out all those. Next, let's draw on that shaker. Now, that 808. That over and stretch them all out. Now let's get to the song defining lead sound and create a new software instrument track. And once again, we're going to use Logic's Retro Synth. Just going to go bring that in right here. We're going to work with the default setting that loads up again. We'll get to the sound design in a moment. Let's go ahead and draw on that pattern. Let's go ahead and duplicate that over. I'm just going to drag out the notes a little bit because I want them to overlap. And for that, I'm going to bring in Logic's Retro Synth. Once again, we're working with the default setting here. I'm going to turn on Glide. I'm just going to pull this up to about 30-ish. Then we're going to go over to bring in a chorus. Now I'm just going to use the EQ to brighten the sound up. All right, now let's get to the next section of the track. I'm going to go ahead and copy over all of our drums. I'm going to take out this 808. I'm going to copy over just the pad and the bell sound. I'm going to draw in our snare pattern. I'm going to make these a little bit quieter here. The velocity will go down. Next, let's bring in this really high sounding synth. I'm going to create a new software instrument track. And for this sound, I'm going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. And all I'm going to do here is search for bells. And I'm going to choose this 80s analog bells that loads up here. I'm going to close that out. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Now let's bring in an EQ to clean that up. I just really want to focus on the brightness of the sound. I'll pull that back a bit. And once again, I'm going to bring in a reverb here. Let's see how it sounds with everything else. Now we got to bring in that second 808. Next, let's work on the third section of the track. I'm going to go ahead and copy over our pads. Just go like this. Copy over our bells. I'm going to copy over our drums minus the 808 once again. Create a new software instrument track, and we're going to bring in yet another bass. We'll go over to our library browser right over here. I'm going to go over to bass, and I'm going to go to the fretless bass preset. And I'm just going to copy over this 808 pattern right over here over to our bass. Just going to pitch it down one octave. And pull down the velocity so I don't get that weird tangy sound. All right, I'm going to bring up the bass amp here. I'm just going to boost this up a bit, quite a bit actually. All right, with everything else. And then we get like a little weird blip sound over here. So let's go ahead and draw that in. I'm going to create a new software instrument track. And once again, I'm going to bring in Logic's Retro Synth. We'll leave it on the default settings for now. First, let's draw in that pattern. All right, now in Logic's Retro Synth, we're just going to go ahead and add in the chorus. Let's just loop up that section here. For oscillator 1, I'm going to push our oscillator to a square wave. And once again, for our glide, I'm just going to pull it up to about 30 milliseconds. And then once again, I want to make this really bright. So I'm going to bring in an EQ. And I'm just going to cut out a lot of the lows, just boost the highs. Something like that. together. And that's all the pieces to the beat. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it, arrange it, and we'll come right back. All right, so here we are in the mixed and arranged version. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the beat we just put together, Lil Tecca's 500 Pounds remade in Logic Pro. So right there is Lil Tecca's 500 Pounds remade in Logic Pro from scratch. For your Logic users out there, I'm gonna go ahead and save this entire session for you. Place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I'm gonna go export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You'll find that playback down below the like button as well. But on that, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.